Welcome to Olympian Water Testing, giving you the best in water analysis. Today we're looking at the NIH and National Library of Medicine, and we're seeing factors associated with high mercury levels in women and girls from the Mojojo region, Colombia. What happened with them and why did they experience that, and what were the results? So women are primarily exposed to mercury through the consumption of fish, and so are men as well, contaminated by gold mining activities. So simply how that works is the gold mining happens, the industrial effect of that has mercury go into the ocean or into water systems. It could be different water systems as well. And then it gets converted into methyl mercury. And then it starts to accumulate in plankton. Fish eat that. Bigger fish eat that. And then it ends up on your plate. And the main systems affected are the central nervous system and renal systems, although the effects on reproductive system have also been found. And as we know, there's really not a safe amount of mercury. Not all heavy metals are created equal. So to explore the relationship between mercury levels in women and possible sources of contamination, a cross-sectional study was conducted from 2013 to 15, with women residing in 11 municipalities and using non-random sampling. Standardized instruments were used to identify sociodemographic characteristics, mercury use, mining-related activities, water and fish consumption, and other factors. Blood, urine, and hair samples were taken to quantify mercury levels. A logistic regression model was used to identify factors associated with elevated mercury values in the patient's samples, and a total of 428 women were included with an average age of 36.7, 16.7 years, 33% of whom were pregnant at the time of the survey, and 8.4% of whom were exposed occupationally. So they could also be exposed from their job as well. It doesn't necessarily mean that they ate fish. It could be from tainted water as well. And high levels of mercury were present in 62.8% of the women and in any one of the three samples processed. And those exposed occupationally and environmentally had similar values. The frequency of fish consumption and the source of drinking water were associated with higher levels of mercury as well. So basically, in a nutshell, contaminated drinking water and higher levels of mercury are a huge issue. Why? Because we can see it affects everything. Central nervous system, renal systems, reproductive system. And where did it come from? It did come from fish consumption, which is something that you can limit the amount. But also the source of drinking water was associated with high levels of mercury. And that is something you can definitely test for. Especially with women, all these effects can happen that are unpleasant. So it's always a good idea, especially with women in the vicinity or anyone, to test your water periodically for high levels of mercury.